in the inbound pass. Looking underneath the basket, he wants Imfinger, but it's kicked out of bounds by Corbin. So Rogers will get another crack at it. Fakes a pass to the corner to Chris Thomas and has to clear it to the perimeter to Thomas, who drives left side to King. Back out, Ryan Imfinger for three, bangs in! 75-63, 9:28 to play. Pacers with a 12-point lead. Griffith on the top of the circle, tried an overhead bounce pass underneath the outing, and it didn't work. He overthrew it, and it's out of bounds. Pacers ball once again. Rogers, while dribbling across midcourt, is fouled hard by Outing. Actually slammed into press row here. Seems to be okay, and Rogers will head to the free throw line. That's the 7th team foul on the Pride. For Outing, it's his 3rd personal. Rogers, 1 of 2 from the free throw line today. 3 points to his credit, as he's a 67% shooter on the season, and his first attempt rolls in and out. It was rebounded by Griffith, but in order to get the rebound, he fell out of bounds and gives the ball back to the Pacers. Imfinger this time on the inbound pass, gets it to Rogers on the left wing, who drives and is not fouled. Has it punched away and out of bounds, ruling that it was last touched by William Peace. Pacers with full court pressure, man-to-man, broken pretty easily as Outing cuts mid-court, puts up the 15-footer on the other end. It rolls off the left side of the rim and rebounded by Imfinger. 9 to play, 12-point lead for the Pacers. Thomas on the right wing, hands off to Imfinger. Looking for an overhead pass underneath, and he goes up top to King. Plenty of cushion to take the three-point shot attempt off the right side of the rim. Long rebound in the corner to Thomas, and he's bailed out by Rogers, who sends a pass out to Imfinger, and Imfinger can't handle it. It bounces off of his foot and out of bounds at the far sideline. So now Imfinger will take a breather. He's replaced by Jalen Vince. 8 minutes, 44 seconds to play. It's a 12-point lead for the Pacers, 75-63. Inbound pass goes to Corbin at midcourt, and they easily break the press. Corbin goes all the way down the floor. Has to pump a couple times in midair, but can't hit the layup as he was defended by Thomas. And the rebound goes down to the Pacers. Rogers and Vince in the backcourt now for William Peace. Vince on the left side gets a screen right from Thomas and goes back to Thomas, who pump fakes on a long three, and he's going to be called for the travel. And that is signature part of Thomas's game. When he pump fakes from deep, he goes up to his tiptoes. And that's the first time I've seen him called for that all season long. As far as I could tell, he didn't leave his feet that time. But it goes back to the Pride. Griffith on the left wing. He's defended by Thomas, goes up top to Outing, and they swing it around. Corbin with the ball. Fakes left, drives right on Vince, kicks it back up top to Barnett. Long rebound off the three-point miss. Goes down to Outing, and he kicks it to the left corner where he's got Griffith. Drives on his man, Trey McLean. Bumped just a hair while fading away, and Griffith sails it over the rim. He's going to get the foul call, so 2 free throws on the way for Griffith. And that's going to send us into the under 8 media timeout. There's 7 minutes, 54 seconds remaining. 75-63 is your score. The Pacers lead it here on the Pacers Sports Network.
Today, across the Triangle, nearly 300 children are homeless. During the school year, Triangle Schools will help over 1,000 children survive a period of homelessness. Want to know what you can do to help end homelessness? Call United Way's 211 line. Simply dial 211 for ideas. I am Durham City Councilwoman Diane Katati, and I approve this message.
6 months from now, I'm going to be a dad. So there's one thing I want to change about me right now. I've tried before, but this time I'll do it for me and the baby. I'll quit smoking for good.
Most people don't succeed at first. It often takes several tries. The important thing is to never quit on yourself. Visit quitterinyou.org or call 1-800-LUNG-USA for tools and tips from the American Lung Association. We support the Quitter in You.
This is William Peace Basketball on the Pacers Sports Network.
Coming out of the media timeout, it'll be Donovan Griffith to shoot 2 free throws for the Pride, who trail it by 12. 75-63, Pacers lead here at William Peace University, as Griffith's first is up and careens in off the back of the net. Griffith now with 9 points on the evening, 4 of 6 from the field. That was his first free throw attempt. Second on the way, and that rattles in to give him double digits for the day and make it a 10-point game. Inbound pass for the Pacers goes to McLean. Full court pressure from Greensboro. Outing was riding his hip all the way down the far sideline, and it's going to be charged with the foul. That's the 8th team foul, already Outing's 4th in this one. So he's one false move away from disqualification. And McLean will go to the free throw line to shoot 1 and 1. Outing checks out. Simeon Howard back in, who we haven't really seen a ton of in the past 5 minutes or so. McLean's first goes in, nothing but net, so he'll get a second. That makes it an 11-point lead for the Pacers, 76-65 with 7:52 to play. McLean's second, good rotation off the front of the rim though, and rebounded by Griffith of the Pride. For Griffith, that's his 8th rebound. Definitely double-double territory for him. Howard with it on the right wing. Pump fake, and they swing it around to Gatling, who's yet to score this half. Drives left side, and he pushes with his shoulder off of his man. Good defense there by McLean. Gatling's first foul leaves him still scoreless in the second half. Inbound pass goes to Jalen Vince. Goes across court to McLean as McLean goes into the front court. He's defended by Griffith. Gets a screen from King and takes it left side. Dribbles right side, goes underneath to King. Puts a body on the defender and floats it up in for 2. King makes it 78-65 with 7:12 to play. And there's going to be a foul on the other end on Dakota King, so that'll send Lehman to the line to shoot 1 and 1. And Lehman, a few slow dribbles. His first free throw is up. He won't get a second. High rebound is reeled in by Nate Strother. He gets the outlet to Chris Thomas, who's wasting no time. Drives left side. Goes out to McLean, but McLean was cutting, and it's overthrown. Barnett reels it in. Goes left side. Simeon Howard, spin move in the lane. Lays it in off the front of the rim, and it's boarded by Vince. Here come the Pacers. They've got numbers. Vince with a bounce pass underneath to Chris Thomas, who can't handle it, and it bounces out of bounds. And Thomas, some visible frustration there, is going to be subbed out by Coach Claude Shields. Corey Anderson enters the game. A little late to the party, Sam Johnson enters the game as well. He'll grab Trey McLean. 78-65, a 13-point Pacer lead. Barnett to bring it up court for the Pride. Goes to the right side. It's Simeon Howard. Hits a cutting Griffith on the right. Baseline jumper off the front of the rim. Rebound pulled in by Johnson. Well, Johnson and Gatling were both there. And it rolled out to the corner. Johnson tried to save it, but had a foot out of bounds. And it goes back to Greensboro, so just in front of the entrance here to the gym at the Herm. Barnett will trigger in the inbound pass. That's a tricky place to throw it in from, but he eventually gets it into Scales, and they go up top to Gatling. Defended by Johnson. Chest pass to the left. It's Simeon Howard who loses his footing on the drive and is out of bounds. Complaining maybe that he slipped on something. There was obviously no contact. And the inbound pass for the Pacers goes into Sam Johnson. He'll get it to Vince on the left side and back to Johnson on the right as the Pacers enter the front court. Johnson dribbling across his body, loses his handle, and Gatling goes to the floor and kicks the ball. So Greensboro players arguing that there's no kick ball violation on offense, but I think I would argue that no team had possession in that scenario. And a little bit of shoving now between Barnett and Vince as Corey Anderson set to throw it in right here at midcourt, right in front of press row, and Barnett. There was a technical given somewhere. And that's going to be on Jalen Vince. So Vince is teed up after responding to Barnett, perhaps a little too egregiously.
Hey, Brian, we're done. Both ways, not just whole piece. We're done. Unsporting, back and forth. We're done.
And you probably heard that on the Nats sound. Officials indicating that there will be a zero tolerance policy from here on out. Rogers replaces Vince and receives the inbound pass. He drives right side, bounce pass to Sam Johnson in the corner, who loses it, and it's picked away by Barnett. Barnett zips a pass inside. He was trying to find Griffith, and it's knocked away by a Pacer defender. So in that mix-up, we kind of lost track of time and score. It's 78-65, Pacers lead. 5:57 to play, and we're going to get a full timeout for Greensboro College. And a couple of issues as emotions run high for William Peace. Chris Thomas subbed out of the game for perhaps some egregious behavior. Jalen Vince gets the technical foul. But I kind of like it. I like that this team is fiery. They came into this day not guaranteed a spot into the USA South Conference Tournament. And as I said, emotions running high for Claude Shields' bunch. As I would assume they're unaware that they're in the tournament no matter what. Of course, not that they wouldn't still try to pull this one out. Pacers lead by 13. 5:57 to play. Thomas leads all scorers. He's got 16, 7 rebounds, 2 assists, and a steal. He's 7 of 15 from the field. Business as usual for Chris Thomas. Probably the most consistent player on this Pacers team. Ryan Empfinger has 11 points and then 10 for Dakota King. That does it for Pacers in double figures. Thomas checks back into the contest, perhaps after he's cooled off a bit, and will defend Donovan Griffith on the Greensboro inbound pass here. Barnett, the catalyst, looking overhead, goes underneath to Griffith, who snuck over to the right block and is able to lay it in for 2. 78-67, 5:49 to play. Rogers across the timeline for the Pacers. He's defended by Barnett, directing traffic. Barnett barking orders at his teammates defensively. Thomas hands it off at the top of the circle. Strother drives right side and lays it in. Blew right by Gatling. Barnett for Greensboro goes right side to Griffith. Down underneath, the bounce pass to Scales. And Trey McLean's going to be called for the foul on the help D again, as Anderson was in good position to defend the shot. So McLean with the personal foul. That's his second on the day. It's 80-67 as Paris Scales will get 2 free throws. Both teams in the double bonus, so we're shooting free throws no matter what from here on out. Though it didn't apply there, that was on the shot. Scales' first attempt is off the front of the rim, then the backboard off the rim again and out. A couple of chances to fall through there, but it doesn't. Dakota King checks into the contest. As Scales taking his time. His second approach, that's in, nothing but net. 12-point lead for the Pacers. Full court press from Greensboro. Rogers receives the inbound pass and goes to McLean. Back to Rogers, and he sprints across midcourt to break it. Picks up his dribble dangerously close to midcourt and gets the pass to McLean, and now they're clear of any kind of pressure. Rogers has it up top, hands off to Jalen Vince on the right wing. Vince gets a screen from King on the left, drives, lays it in with his right hand, but it not quite in. It's off the front of the rim. Rebounded by Griffith of the Pride, out to Barnett. Crosses over on Vince, sends an overhead pass inside to Scales, can't get it to fall. Board in the putback, though, for Howard. With 4:39 to play, 80-70, Pacers lead by 10. Rogers passes up court to the NCAA logo. It's Chris Thomas, who clears it out to McLean. A lot of contact there, some back and forth with elbows between Scales and Thomas. As Rogers is at the perimeter to run the offense. Dribbles in after he gets a screen. 18-feet footer off the back of the rim. Rebound obtained by Howard, and Greensboro now with the ball. He hands off to Barnett, and they swing it around to Griffith on the right wing. Griffith is defended by Thomas, and back up top to Gatling, who's yet to score this half. Underneath, Scales lays it in softly. Not a lot of contact there, almost as if King was afraid to go in too hard defensively. Rogers, high bounce pass, gets it to McLean, who sprints his way into the front court. Underneath to Thomas, overthrown on the layup, but a tip in from Dakota King makes it 2 more and a 10-point game. Barnett, no time wasted, takes the 3 from the top of the circle. Rebounded by Griffith, and there's going to be a foul call. It appears to be charged to Chris Thomas as tempers flare. So Griffith will shoot 2 free throws after the media timeout. 3 minutes, 32 seconds to play. It's a 10-point lead for your William Peace University Pacers here on the Pacers Sports Network, 82-72.
Everybody here has a story.
One of the things that makes North Carolina's beer scene so great is the willingness to experiment and try new things. Only in North Carolina are you going to have 5 North Carolina beers paired remarkably well with food from a Pan-Asian restaurant from a chef who came from California. You know, it's so distinctly North Carolina. And, you know, in this era of eating localvore and all of that, I think a lot of people are discovering just how craft beer fits into that story. That you're taking grain, you're taking local water, you're crafting something on premises, and serve that with great local foods, seasonal vegetables, seasonal dishes. You know what, though? Sometimes the best brew pubs just serve it up with some fries. You know, let's not get too fancy on ourselves. I'm Sean Wilson in Durham, North Carolina.
For your North Carolina story, come try the World Beer Festival in Durham or the Lighthouse International Beer Festival in Wilmington. Go to visitnc.com or call 1-800-VISIT-NC.
This is William Peace Basketball on the Pacers Sports Network.
Darren Vaught back with you on the Pacers Sports Network. Out of the final media timeout, 3 minutes, 32 seconds to play in this one. The Pacers lead it by 10, 82-72, as Donovan Griffith will get 2 free throws for Greensboro College. Another update in USA South play, and it seems like everything's going the Pacers' way. 62-61, Ferrum defeats Averett in overtime as Griffith buries the first free throw in this one. So what that means is that if the Pacers win this game, they will tie Averett with their conference record. Griffith hits the second as well, 82-74. Vince with the inbound pass goes up to midcourt where he's got Strother. And the Pacers will reset the offense. So with an even record in conference play, William Peace is 2-0 against Averett, so they'll get the advantage. So all things considered, as Strother is too strong on the three-point attempt from the left corner. Howard with the rebound in transition goes to Outing on the right corner. Back up top, Griffith dribbles just within the three-point line and sinks it for two. It's a 6-point game, 82-76. King with the inbound pass to Johnson. Back to midcourt, it's Chris Thomas. Nobody there, he's all alone. Bounce pass to Vince underneath the King, the no-look pass from Jalen Vince. 84-76. Pacers, when they do break the press, are very good in transition. Simeon Howard drives left side, swatted away by King, and it's reeled in by Johnson. Pacers now slowing things down in the front court. And to complete my thought from earlier, if William Peace wins this game now, not only are they into the USA South Tournament, they will be the 7th seed because of the Averett loss. Vince gets a screen and dribbles right. He's defended by Outing of Greensboro. Hands it off to Thomas on the right wing. Thomas fakes left, goes between his legs. Fade away in the lane off of the left foot. Dirk Nowitzki-esque, and it falls in nothing but net. Greensboro pass swatted out of bounds by Nate Strother. Pacers wanted the call to go the other way. They thought the Pride had a hand on it, but it'll be Greensboro ball. With a minute 59 seconds remaining, it's still a 10-point lead for the Pacers, 86-76. And Coach Brian Goluski of the Pride is going to get himself a full timeout. So to reiterate, on the day, Maryville has lost. Averett has lost. So Maryville had the same record as William Peace entering today. So therefore, if Peace loses, they'll be tied with Maryville. Therefore, they get the tiebreaker because they're 1-0 against Maryville on the season. So that makes them at least 8th in conference tournament standings. Averett was 1 game ahead of William Peace entering today. They have now lost. So with a Peace win, their records will be matched. And the Pacers are 2-0 against Averett, winning both in Danville and here at the Herm this season against the Cougars. So the Pacers would be the 7th seeded team, and hypothetically it looks to me like it would be a matchup against Covenant in the first round, who the Pacers played once this season, and it took Covenant a buzzer beater to win that one. So if you're a Pacers fan, you got to like that matchup.